Coming soon on video and DVD.
So we're back, but I guess for a couple of reasons, because we've been a little bit on a break, but the landlord of the Plaza Strip, because of, I don't know, stuff, he was like, oh, prices, they're going up, whatever.
It's the tariffs.
Yeah, it's the tariffs. And
somehow.
Yeah, I'm not sure how, seeing that the lands are, like the building's already here, but whatever,
Tapes are old.
Yeah. And there aren't tariffs on tapes. Hey, I like that. No tariffs on tapes.
Well, nobody's making them anymore.
Right.
Oh, that's a bumper sticker.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey,
No
that's
tariffs
actually
on
true.
tapes.
No tariffs on tapes.
Patent that.
Yeah. And
Copyright.
Before we put this out. So yeah, my name is Eli. I'm one of the owners of Top Shelf Video.
And I'm Jaime, brother and co-owner also of Top Shelf Video.
And I'm Denise, and I just hang out a
No,
lot.
no.
Oh, no? Oh, sorry. I own the restaurant next door, which is, oh, shit. I forget.
Film to Table.
Film to Table,
We haven't
sorry.
been away that long.
It's so long.
We've just been so busy working. That's what it is.
We're trying to hide from ice.
Yeah. Jesus.
Sorry.
So yeah, too much going on.
Too much, sorry.
Yeah, we just been busy. But yeah, no, we had to get together because the landlord was going to raise prices. So we're going to stand firm and not raise prices, but we're still going to continue to rent and put out tapes and put out food. So we thought we'd give a little bit of a preview of our season 2 because we've been working, recording. I guess truth be told, we've just been really busy with work. Like I got a game coming out like in a couple months.
Ooh.
And
Womp womp.
yeah, and it's just been very, very busy. But we've still recorded a little bit. I know.
Yeah. Still watching movies.
Yeah, we're definitely still watching movies. We've actually been watching a lot of, I know we're not really going to dive a ton into TV, but like Denise and I have been watching a lot of TV just because, we can't watch, we've still been watching movies, but just not as much because like you got to block out that 2 hours or 2.5 hours. So we've kind of been doing the 30-minute or 1 hour movies, or TV shows, so that we can just kind of do that, have dinner, clean it, or do whatever we're going to do. If it's work related, then we just go to bed or whatever. So, I guess, before we dive into what we're going to be talking about in season 2, I guess we could, a couple of recommendations just on the TV side of things, because Denise and I just finished up season 1 of The Pit. I don't know if you've heard of this.
No.
Do you remember that show ER? Like that used to, the big...
ER, yeah.
Yeah, the big drama.
Yeah. I remember that. I did enjoy that.
This is literally ER, but on HBO, and it's way more graphic, and it's way more. We've been told by our doctor friends that this is about as realistic as it gets. Like it's the real deal.
It's really good.
It's so good.
It's a little intense.
It is very intense. It's got a couple aspects. It's very intense in the sense of like
You're in the ER.
you're in the ER, but the drama is very like up there, but also because it's on HBO, the graphicness of
They're not.
They don't have to sanitize that shit for
you're
broadcast
seeing all of
TV.
it.
You're seeing all of it. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's interesting. I'm gonna have to
And
check
that's
that
not-
out.
it's not necessarily the part, like the acting and the way it's set up, because basically it's an entire shift of it's in Pittsburgh, I believe, right? Which is why it's called The Pit. But so it takes place in Pittsburgh, and you're there. I guess it's a teaching.
The teaching hospital, I guess.
Yeah, it's like one of their teaching ERs. So basically, they bring in
they're
the
going
student
through their
teachers.
what are those
The
called?
rounds. Or their
rotation.
Residency or
residency. There you go.
Residency,
Yeah, that's it. So when they get assigned, like I guess a place to work, they are there and they're teaching people as they're kind of going through the process. And
Right.
so like as doctors, like they have like the two main guys that are on shift, and then they're basically having to teach people as they go, right? So like like I guess as like stuff, as people are coming in and as like things are playing out, they're like talking to the student doctors and I was like, what is this? What could it be? Da, da, da. So they're actually talking through the process very quickly, you know? And because of that, it feels like very intense, but every episode is 1 hour in their 15-hour long shift. So like they get there like at what, like at 6 a.m. or
yeah,
something?
6 or 7 in the morning.
So the first episode's from 6 to 7, the next episode's 7 to 8.
Oh, no
And you
shit.
see like all the people that are kind of coming through, and it really speaks to like how understaffed and how overworked the medical industry is, especially post-COVID. And so it's super, super intense. And then like, we won't talk about a spoiler, but something happens like on the back end of the season, which we didn't see coming. And then you're like, oh shit, that's like a real thing that nobody thinks about when it happens.
Yeah.
And then the ER has to respond.
Right.
It was like, there were literally, I think, outside of horror movies that are like extreme, like there hasn't not been a lot where Denise and I are both like, our hands are like sweaty and like, I was standing up in a couple of episodes because like you're waiting for like this big wave of like emotion and drama to happen.
It's really intense. I don't know that there's anything out there like it right now.
No, I don't think
or
even
ever.
close.
And it's Noah Wiley, who was on the
he was
original
on ER.
ER. Yeah, he was like the young doctor in ER, and now he's like the head doctor.
Yeah,
guy.
he's
Is he
like the main
reprising that
Like-
same role?
No,
No. It's completely
Oh, he
different
just-
character. It's different city. It just happens to be kind of the same setting.
they
I mean,
actually
that
got
would have been cool,
sued.
though. I mean,
Yeah,
was-
no, it would have.
Okay.
I think they were actually trying. I think their rumor is that they were trying to, but they couldn't make the deal with. So it was Michael Crichton's estate, I guess. The franchise was, and his wife, or I guess,
Yeah.
like did not
Or his-
did not
his
want to
widow.
give up the rights. But they actually came to her and like, hey, we want to keep doing, or we want to update ER or whatever it is, and she said no. So they were like, well, we're gonna
do
do
it
something.
anyways.
yeah. just make
So they
another
went
hospital.
ahead. Right, exactly. They went ahead and did it anyway, and with Noah Wiley still attached because he's actually a producer as well.
Yeah.
And so
Gotcha.
she actually went ahead and tried to sue them for, I guess, copyright
Mm-hmm.
or something. I don't know how. I guess it must have
I don't
not
know.
worked.
I don't know if it's still
weird.
ongoing or whatever, but it's one of those things where it's just like,
Like, it's not the same characters. It's not the same city. It's not the same hospital.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know how far that's gonna get. I
Yeah,
think
she
her
doesn't
only
own emergency rooms, so I mean,
Well, her
What the
only
fuck?
argument was that like they came to her with the intention of wanting it to be ER.
Right.
And when she said no, they went ahead and did it anyway. They just rebranded it. Which I guess I can kind of see that argument.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, a hospital's a hospital.
it's. I mean, I guess in a long roundabout way of like, it's super good and like
Yeah.
it's bingeable, but it's not super bingeable because it is hard to process some of the
yeah, you
episodes.
should not binge
yeah.
it. Absolutely.
Some of the
this is like
episodes are just
the ER version, like of McDowell's.
Yes. Yeah. So we were watching that, and then we finished up Severance season 2,
Yes,
Right.
so good.
which is really good. And we've really been enjoying that. But I will still say
still
the
don't
Pit-
know what the hell's going on.
Still don't know what's going on, but it was a pretty good season.
Still good. Yep.
I still think the Pit is better if you were
If
ranking.
we had to rank, probably.
Yeah, it's just really, really good. We're watching Top Chef as preparation for season 2 of Film to Table.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, that's totally why we're watching it.
Yep.
Not that we would not be watching it if it wasn't.
Yeah, it's definitely a guilty pleasure.
It's actually a good season so far.
Yeah, it's been really good.
This last week was really good.
Yeah.
We were both like, that's a good, like, why don't they do more contests like that? It
Yeah.
makes sense.
There's some good challenges this season.
They're in Canada, so tariffs, but whatever.
Yeah.
What else have we been?
Yeah, we're pretty much.
I
I'm
mean-
doing Marvel stuff on this end. The same thing.
Oh,
we're
are
watching
you?
shows.
Which?
Well,
which
we
ones are
watched
you watching?
The new Daredevil stuff came out, and,
Oh yeah, we need to start
but-
on that.
well, see what we did is we went back to we're watching the 3 seasons of the original
Netflix.
one,
Oh, gotcha.
the
gotcha,
Netflix stuff because
Catch
I
up.
don't know if there's anything that's like carrying over that we need to know the reference. So I was like, hey, these other ones are on Disney. So
Yeah.
we're on season 2, and it's the same.
Oh,
Like
nice.
we get an episode or 2 in
Yeah.
every other day or so, because just our work schedules are kind of funky. She
Yeah,
goes to
yeah,
bed
yeah.
at like, my wife goes to bed at like 8:00 because she's got to get up at like 3.
Oh,
So,
ouch. Jesus.
and me, not so much. I get up at 7 and I'm at work at 7:30. So I stay up a little later. So anyway, we the few hours that we share, we'll dinner and then an
Yeah.
hour or
I
2
heard
of
that
TV. And,
my sisters are watching the new season and they're liking it so far. They said it's actually really good.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
we need to
I
catch
really
up on
like
that.
Wilson Fisk's character. Was it
love that
Vincent
character.
D'Onofrio?
D'Onofrio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is an underrated
Take a
actor,
seat.
man.
Oh, he's so good.
He is.
He is
really good.
excellent.
Yeah, he needs to be in more things because he's great.
I remember him from the Full Metal Jacket days. I remember I was
Oh,
like, that was the
shit.
first time. That was the first time I saw him. I was like, this dude's
Yeah.
playing the crazy guy,
Scary.
really,
Yeah.
really well. And then
That
then I got to watch him, like, I guess, grow up in acting. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow, holy shit, this dude's badass.
Yeah, I that was one of those movies I was for some reason allowed to watch way too young. I never should have watched that as young as that because it was just nightmares constantly about that one guy. Like for a long time, I could not watch
Yeah.
anything with Vincent D'Onofrio in it because he was terrifying.
Yeah, anything Vietnam related, I was finding a way to watch it because my dad never spoke about it,
Oh,
and I
sure,
was
sure.
just so
And we were
Curious.
fascinated,
So
intrigued, and curious. I
interest-
wanted to know
Yeah.
what happened.
What it was.
So at an early age, I was watching
Christ.
Hamburger Hill and
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket and
Do you remember the
everything.
Do you remember the comic book, The Nom?
I have it. I have this.
still
I have them
have
in
it?
my. I have them in my comic book. My
You want to
my
talk
box.
You want to talk about like stuff that we probably shouldn't have had at a young age, but there was a
Yeah.
comic book about Vietnam just called The Nom.
The Nom.
and it
Marvel.
was like it was almost like stories. Yeah, it was Marvel.
oh wow.
Yeah.
It was like stories, but I don't like. I'd be really interested to go back and like look at some of those to see how fictionalized it was. But
Yeah.
during that period in the 80s and 90s, there was like a big like resurgence of the Vietnam War, I guess,
Like
because
the storytelling of it.
yeah, I mean, post like First Blood, like Rambo,
Right.
you know, with that being more about like PTSD and stuff. But man, you talking about talking about like Full Metal Jacket made me immediately think of the Nom because I remember those covers
Yeah.
were like pretty epic.
Yeah.
Like they were really well drawn out. It's
Yeah.
a very adult graphic novel, but I mean, it wasn't like a book.
Yeah.
It was like
No,
an
it was your
individual issue.
monthly
Right,
comic.
Just
Yeah.
regular serial. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember it was
yeah, I've
like,
got quite a bit of them. I also have. There was it didn't run for very long, but there was one called Semper Fi,
I remember that.
and it followed Marines.
Yeah.
In it, most of them were in Vietnam, but they did have like, since they were, each issue was like a different story. There were some that like followed Marines in the Korean War or World War II or whatever. But
Oh, interesting.
a lot of the stories were in the Vietnam War area.
Wild.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
got a
it
couple of
was-
those too.
yeah.
And again,
more of
I guess I was destined to go into the military because my fascination to want to know what my dad went through,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
just learning. Damn, what was the name of the TV show that came out?
Oh,
We used to watch it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it started with that. That
It had the Rolling Stones. Fade, yeah. Was it Fade to Black?
Yeah, Fade to Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy because it would come on like
It
at
was at
7
7:00 prime
on
time.
Fridays. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, it's gonna drive me nuts. We'll probably have to put it in the notes later, but yeah, I remember watching that because it was like there were a lot of characters in there that actually and I think maybe because it was just that era, but one of the guys he wasn't in Breakin', but he was like that one actor that you would see often. He was like the skinny kind of black guy that
Tour of Duty.
would see-
Found it.
Tour Duty. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
But yeah, they were actors that I think we recognized quite a bit from like our video store days because you would see a lot of those guys going like, oh, I remember that guy from that movie and whatnot. Because it seemed like a very like cheap budget, sort of movie that they kind of put together because I think it was just like a topic that a lot of people were interested in. But Oh man, I haven't thought about that stuff in a while. It might be
Yeah.
one we might have to add to our list of things to watch. Whether it's I don't know, like Platoon or
I've never
Full
seen
Metal
Platoon.
Jacket. You never seen Platoon? Oh man,
Oh man.
There's a
also
bunch
never
of those.
seen-
I've never. I really. I don't know. I tended to stay away a lot
Yeah.
from those war movies. Like I haven't seen that, or was it Deer Hunter?
oh yeah, the Deer Hunter or
The other
Apocalypse
one, Apocalypse Now. I haven't seen. I just. I don't know. I tended to stay away from that. It was,
Yeah, I would kind of maybe be interested in watching some of those for season 2 because I don't know, like there's something like I get it, it's film and it's on a backdrop of real places, but the sensationalism of I think what it was like there and what kind of happened definitely like it was an interesting time, right? Because people that were over there were not treated very well when they came back. And then like in the 80s and 90s when there was more reflection of what they kind of went through,
Yeah.
there was like a little bit more of an understanding of it. But I also think that filmmakers kind of went a little, especially with Apocalypse Now, is a little more ape shit to like, I think how maybe it really was. But at the same time, there's something to be said about the amount of when there's no oversight or not as much oversight as you would think.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of young men that are just like,
So gung ho.
well, and also being drafted, right? That you're basically, you're
Your
sending
children, basically.
Yeah, you're sending children who can't even vote, and are drafted, and are probably from poor communities, right? Because they can't afford to go to college, which should be the only way to get out of it. They're all sent off to war. So, like, of course, you're going to have a little bit of chaos and mayhem because you're literally a bunch of kids running around. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Vietnam War. But yeah, I don't know. There's like some movies there that I think that would be kind of interesting to maybe revisit. But yeah, so I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about season 2 then of some of the movies that we've been talking about or that we are thinking about maybe doing this year. I know a big one for you and I, Jaime, that we wanted to do, particularly because like I think it's a video store classic. We talked about doing Escape from New York for some time now.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of like comic books and G.I. Joe and Snake Eyes and I forget, was there a G.I. Joe with like a patch, like an eye patch, or was it a Cobra dude, right?
It was a Cobra guy. It was Major Blood.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Jesus,
He
I
had
can't
the-
believe you remember that.
Oh man, come on.
I know. No, I know. But yeah, like the Snake Plissken sort of look, the patch, the hair,
The anti-hero badass.
Yeah, the boots, the combat
Call
boots.
me Snake.
With like the badass like Uzi, I guess like Uzi silencer, sort of weird made up gun that's like whatever.
That was, yeah.
What are some other
Yeah,
ones?
going
that
in the
we-
military did ruin that for me. The magic
Oh,
of
yeah.
Hollywood was, the army ruined it for me because I was like, that's not basic issue. What the fuck is that gun?
Yeah.
You don't put silencers on that.
Let's see. What else have we talked about? Oh, we talked about doing in the same vein of like those sorts of movies. We talked about doing Invasion USA. I know that was a movie that we wanted to like look
Oh yeah,
at.
yeah. You can never not have enough Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I guess staying like in the realm of the military mantra, I definitely want to try to get in, and I should caution our listeners, all, small number of them, but more than I thought. We may or may not get to all these, but if we get enough feedback and whatnot, maybe we will, or if we have other suggestions that come to us. But I'd love to get in
absolutely.
Iron Eagle. Iron Eagle, I think,
Chappie.
is like we have to get in Iron Eagle for like not the Top Gun. This is like the video store.
The rental.
This is the rental version of Top Gun.
Got it.
Like
Direct
Top
to
Gun's
video.
rented. What do you get? Iron Eagle.
Got it.
Because
Yeah, this is the Air Force version.
yes,
Top Gun was Navy.
yeah. Talk about like army or talk about military stuff that definitely would not be allowed, which is like we're just gonna go invade a country or like go do stuff and basically set off a war, but hey, whatever. As long as it happens in a 90-minute time frame and we can get it on VHS, then sure. I don't know. Do you have a couple on our list that you were thinking about?
Well, I mean, my list is all over the place as far
Sure.
as things I'd like to watch. But if there's anything that we need to maybe kind of try to dial it in a little bit, I wouldn't mind going into space in season 2.
Okay.
I know we touched a lot on 80s movies in season 1, but I would really like to. I would like to try to make the time to do 2001: Space Odyssey.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 68. I know, but and honestly, I think a lot of this has to do with whether you care for the guy or not. I look forward to the day that humans can go into space, and I'm
Sure,
kind of
yeah.
I'm watching a little bit of the I don't watch the news. I might as well watch YouTube. It's all entertainment crap anyway.
Oh, sure.
But I'm fascinated by the things that are being done as far as attempts to travel space, like long term,
Oh, yeah.
Missions to Mars, blah blah blah. But I don't know that it'll happen in our lifetime. But the idea of
maybe.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I mean, I don't plan on
Might be on
going
the
anywhere
back
anytime
end of
soon.
our-
But
Yeah.
yeah.
might be on the back
yeah.
end of that, but yeah, no, you're right. Like,
Yeah.
man, I have not seen that movie in a very for 1968. That movie is doing incredible things. Like,
Yeah.
that's a good one. I hadn't really thought about that one.
Yeah, I got that one on my list. The Black Hole, Disney Black Hole from 1979.
When Disney made like rock and heavy metal movies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That movie's so heavy metal.
Flash Gordon from 1980.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think there was one other one that was space related. The Ice Pirates. That's 84.
Man, I haven't thought about Ice Pirates in a minute.
I have fond memories of being in a drive-in theater watching
Yeah.
that movie.
I remember that. Yeah. Oh man, Ice Pirates. Ice Pirates is it's very hard to explain other than it's pirates in space,
Oh,
basically. Like, I mean, that's really about it. It's kind of.
okay. I get it.
I think the one guy from maybe is it the guy from American Ninja in that, or is it a different guy? I
It's
can't remember.
Robert Urich.
Oh, okay. No. I was thinking someone else. But yeah, no, that would be a good one. Well, I think from space to like fantasy, we definitely are going to have to do Beastmaster for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's a video store rental. Something that was on my mind as of recent because I had bought an updated or I bought the remake of it. But The Hitcher would be like one that I definitely want to cover. I don't know if you remember that one with Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer and C. Thomas Howell.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely want to revisit that one. But there was a 90s
Wasn't-
or 90s or
Did
2000s.
they do a
version.
TV show?
Well, there was a TV show. I
Or
actually
it
have
was
some
an
of the-
HBO series, I think.
Yeah, it was like an anthology. I have
Yeah,
some
yeah,
of
it
the
was a bunch of
VHS
short
for
stories.
some
Yeah,
of
yeah,
those. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I remember that. We actually during COVID, Denise and I watched a lot of anthology movies, and I showed her a lot of. If you remember that show Monsters that they used to
Yes.
show really late at night, where the
Really?
monsters
Yeah.
are at they're at the
Love that show.
Yeah.
we did watch that growing up. It's just been a minute since I'd seen it, but
yeah,
I loved it.
Monsters. We watched a little bit of Tales from the Crypt, and then I found a couple of VHS of The Hitcher, so we ended up watching some of that.
Nice.
But yeah, I do remember that show. That was like a really good. That was definitely a fun show. I know. Speaking of like more updated movies, I know one movie that I definitely want you to watch, even though it is definitely much more current. But the movie The Raid, we had talked about.
Wait, you haven't seen that?
Jaime has not seen that.
Whoa. Oh,
Yeah.
that would be a great one.
Yeah, that's a definite like must watch. But and that's one where we may have to have you on for a food crossover.
Oh man.
just because there's lots of things there. Which I guess while Jaime is kind of continuing to look at his list, I think for you and I, in season 2, we've talked about a couple of things. I know one thing somewhat related to that. We definitely have not in a minute watched Infernal Affairs. We've talked about wanting to do that and pairing that up with.
And I don't know that we've ever seen the sequel.
I don't know if we did.
There's at least one more movie, maybe 2 movies after the first.
There
one.
are 2 after the first one.
Okay.
But did you ever see the movie The Departed with like Leonardo
That's
DiCaprio?
Leo DiCaprio and Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
I know of it, but no, I have not seen it.
Oh shit!
It's a good movie. It won Best Picture that year.
Did it? Maybe.
I think so.
Okay.
But it's a remake of a Hong Kong movie called Infernal Affairs.
Which came out like, oh man, what in the
10
early
years or 15
2000s?
15 years before that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
probably
it was like
10,
in
15.
the classic kind of police story. Like the classic Hong Kong style kind of action movie.
Right.
Not like kung fu or anything, but just like in general, just
Very-
pretty hardcore action.
It's a very intense story.
Really
though.
good,
Yeah.
really good, super
High
super
drama.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like some of the 2 most well known actors from Hong Kong. in
Yeah.
it.
Let's see. I know some of the other movies that we kind of wanted to talk about with regards to like.
Honestly, I just picked that movie because I want to make dumplings.
Well, that's fine.
Spoiler.
We can do that. Spoiler to the episode. We saw a couple movies that we may want to revisit this year. We saw a movie called Companion early this year. We thought that was pretty good. That might be one for us to revisit now that it's available to stream. And I want to say, well, this would be a huge challenge, especially when it comes to food and whatnot. But with David Lynch passing as of not that long ago, we could there might be a movie in there that we can try to pair up something, which would be really, really tough. But
Man.
that's part of the fun of trying to do the podcast.
That's the challenge. Oh yeah.
Is finding that. And I know you haven't seen Mulholland Drive, so that might be one that we're going to have to visit.
Yeah.
Because we did
Wait.
watch. I showed you Lost Highway.
That was a fucking trip.
Yeah, I like that movie. I personally think it's
No,
pretty
it was
great,
good. It just felt like a bit of a fever dream.
Yes, absolutely.
Like,
is.
weird, crazy ass movie.
Let's see. I know actually we were lucky enough to see Killing Zoe,
Oh yeah.
which we watched it here at the Texas Theater, and the director Roger Avery, he was the co-writer of Pulp Fiction, was the director, and he also did Rules of Attraction. And so he was here with his daughter, and they did a Q&A after showing the movie, and that was a really fun movie. It's like a heist movie that takes place in France, so that could be fun. There could be some fun French
Yeah.
fries or something.
French cuisine.
I'm sure that there's
Yeah.
more to that. I think what else do we have on our list? We've talked about. Let's see. Oh well, we did watch, and I don't know if we would maybe, even though it'd be kind of gross, but we did watch Wrath of Khan, and that was one that we had talked about.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah. That could be fun, but what I think on that list was First Contact is something that
First Contact
I would want to
would be
revisit.
Oh, you know what else we were talking about? We want to revisit because of a Val Kilmer's recent passing. We wanted to watch his Batman movie.
That's right.
Because it's been a minute, and we just kind of stumbled into this weird rabbit hole of watching Seal's "Kiss from a Rose" on YouTube.
Yeah.
like in its different variation. I have no idea how it showed
Yeah.
up in our algorithm, but then we were like, "Oh, you know what? We should watch. We
watched
should
the-
watch that Batman."
Well, no,
movie."
but because we watched the music video, and then we're like, "This is one of the weirder music videos because
It's nothing but clips from.
it's a pretty song, but he's singing behind the backdrop of Batman, and it's like,
he's singing next to like the bat signal.
it's like what the hell?
Oh no
like,
shit!
It's
Yeah.
so
I'll have to
good.
check that video out. I forgot about
Oh
that
my
video.
god, classic.
let's see. Oh, we had talked about we want to go back and revisit. This would also be another tough one. But we so you're familiar with David Cronenberg, right? The Fly.
The Fly. Yeah.
Man, a number of crazy ass, Eraserhead, Videodrome. So he had a son, and the spawn of Cronenberg.
He has a name. I can't remember what it is.
It's spawn of Cronenberg. But he directed a movie called Infinity Pool that we saw a few years back. That was a really good one, and we've been wanting to revisit that one. That would be interesting because it's on a resort trip.
Yeah, they're in. Where are they? Like Eastern Europe?
I think it's a made up country, if I remember correctly. I think the idea is just that it is some sort of European kind of place or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like a resort or like a It's like a
gated resort.
I think it'd be like that would be a cool that would be a cool one to sort of pair up with like a I don't know, like a food sort of. The other one that we talked about was the Fun House because we Denise and I went to a horror themed.
It was like
It's like Hot Topic meets the circus.
like Cirque du Soleil, but not
the hell?
That high end. I guess.
No, I mean it was
It was
it's
fine.
I
It
mean
was
the
fine.
stuff they were doing
I
was
mean,
dangerous. For
I'm
sure.
not. Yeah, it was fine.
It just felt like
It
inside
definitely
of a Hot
felt
Topic.
like they rated a couple Hot Topics and
Yeah.
kind of called it a day.
Yeah. The whole thing was
Or
a
like
little,
bought out the final the end of the season stuff from Halloween.
Yeah.
like the spirit
the
store.
spirit, the
Right.
day after Spirit Store.
It was fun. Like the actual acrobatics were kind of rad.
They were great. They
It's
were
just
great.
like the everything around it was a
Was, like,
little
cash only
Yeah, a little
and,
half-ass.
Yeah, it seemed a little sketch. Like I was like, man, if there's a fire in here, we're
Oh yeah, that's
we're all screwed.
100% not fire code.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't in someone's backyard, so that's good. I mean,
I mean, it might as well be. It was like the mall parking lot.
yeah,
It was. I mean, it was fine.
yeah, no, it's fine. But
I mean, for like, what did we say? We paid for like $30.
$30 like a ticket, so,
So
we're not going to
whatever.
complain too
Yeah,
much.
no, it's
It's like
fine.
a fraction of the cost of Cirque du Soleil.
I mean, of anything
Yeah.
to watch these days, to be honest.
But yeah, that made us think of Funhouse because the
Yes.
Toby Hooper like
Because
aesthetic. And,
Everybody was sketchy, and you don't want to get caught down a dark alleyway with any
Yeah.
of those carnies.
That's
and,
it's a fun movie though. I
no,
like the
it's
Funhouse. I
silly.
just haven't seen that in a minute.
yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I think there's probably some crossover there. I know I wanted to watch with you, Jaime, because it's been a minute, and I know Denise has seen it, or I showed it to her, but she kind of didn't remember. But Cloak and Dagger which
Yeah.
is one with
Debbie Coleman.
Yep, it takes place in San Antonio. It's the one with the Atari cartridge that has like codes in it or something, and there's like an old German couple that turns out to be KGB or like it's like every kid's fantasy of like, man, I want to do something like awesome and important and
Yeah.
like a James Bond thing.
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
Wasn't
yeah,
that Marvel or Disney also?
It might have been back in the day. I mean, that would have been some time ago though. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely, yeah. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. So I mean, there's lots of stuff that we're looking at, venturing into, in season 2. I know I kind of wanted to hit up some of I just saw some lucha, wrestling last night, and I
saw your post about that. That was
yeah, it was fun.
was cool.
It was cool. It kind of got me like, the Hispanic sort of culture really pushing, and maybe, like movies like La Bamba, Stand and Deliver, like movies that actually are movies that like represent us and have people on screen.
Mention of Selena in there.
Well,
I wasn't
Yeah.
big into the Tejano music scene growing
I
up.
can't say I was
Yeah.
either, but I appreciate like obviously the influence, especially with a Hispanic person breaking into like the main.
Wait, have you seen the movie?
Yes, I
Oh,
have.
okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I have a story behind that, but
Yeah, I did.
if we talk about it, maybe we'll bring it up. But yeah, I mean, yeah, movies like Stand and Deliver, movies like La Bamba, like, representation on screen, like, that stuff.
What was the other one? That was it was Edward James Olmos, and he was younger. Was it like Zoot Suit something?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember. We had it at the Video Crypt because I think Chad.
I don't remember why, but
Yeah, it's like a Zoot Suit.
Yeah. We watched it for a class for some reason. I have no idea why.
Oh man, interesting. I'll have to bust out the 16 millimeter projector then because I have a film that's.
What?
I have a 16 millimeter film that's called Yo Soy Chicano,
Okay.
and I'm interested
Okay.
to see what it's
Sure.
about.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's what I think. It's like like one of those films they would show in school or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be our first legitimate film to table because that could be like an actual film an actual print that I have that we could watch. But
Yeah, you called it, Denise. It's Zoot Suit was 1981.
Oh yeah. Okay. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird. I swear we watched that in some class that I had in college, and I can't remember
in
why.
college,
I think so.
huh?
It might have been when I ended up majoring in Spanish literature. It might have been I don't know, one of those South American studies classes or something
Yeah.
that I took, or Central American studies, something like that. But yeah, kind of randomly. It was like I'd never even heard of that movie, and then we watched it. I'm like, huh, okay.
Yeah, no, that'd be interesting. But yeah, I you know what? Maybe we will have to watch that one. We'll do a crossover episode with
Make some tacos
with Jaime. We could do that, I guess. Does it take place in
in LA.
LA?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be like fish tacos, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know if we have any potential applicants this season?
Yeah, actually, I was about to say, yeah, we probably do have at least 2 applicants lined up that we may have to revisit. We may have to check in with some of our other applicants to see how things are going since we've been just so busy.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can get some of our past applicants. We may even get some guest chefs that might come on.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Maybe we've talked a little bit about that, or maybe we can also do a ahead of time made meal that we can prepare and I don't know, maybe share that idea with others if they want to join us for that week and we can talk about what you made. But yeah, no, we're definitely excited to get back to it. We just got to pay the bills to the landlord to keep the lights on. So
Right.
work kind of has to come first. But I'm excited. I think maybe in the next 2 weeks, we'll just go ahead and say like the early part of May, we're going to go ahead and start putting some episodes out and looking for feedback from folks. You can always follow us on Instagram, on our website, topshelfvideo.com. topshelfvideopodcast@gmail.com is our that would be for both Film to Table and for the podcast, the Top Shelf Video. But yeah, hopefully maybe some merch in the new season. We've talked about lots of things that that we would want in our store, that some of that may actually come to life. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Landlords really
The possibilities are there, and we have the website. We have the website to be able to
we have
share
the tools,
with the world.
We have the talent, as Winston would say. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But all right. Well, we probably need to get back to making the money and paying the taxes and keeping the doors open. But yeah, but no, this is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to season 2 and kind of getting back to it. And definitely, we're looking forward to getting feedback, maybe some live in-person episodes between the 3 of us this summer. I know we talked about wanting to maybe try to meet up at the barbecue at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre barbecue. Maybe we can sneak in the next
happening.
generation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do maybe a next generation Texas Chainsaw night paired up with that. That could be fun. Or the remake, the
Okay.
Jessica Biel, what's his face?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I do like that remake.
That one's not bad.
That one's pretty good.
It's fun. Or the Netflix one. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah,
all right.
nothing beats the original. It's like
No,
the
of course
Coke
not. Of course
Classic,
not.
and it's like you can't go wrong with Coke Classic, man. It's
Yeah. Well, I'm
new
definitely
formula
looking
was
forward.
for some, but
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to some of those horror movies when we can. Like, we almost didn't even touch horror this time around because we're going to touch it. We're going to cover it. We're going to do it because this house
Kind of our bread and butter.
Yeah, we literally named one of our dogs after the final girl in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, I mean, and if I don't know if these mics will pick it up, but you can hear her snoring as it is late in the store.
Very dainty and ladylike.
Yeah.
that's funny.
Well, all right. Let's get back to our respective stores. Denise, you'll have to
Okay.
get
Well,
back to.
I know. I gotta go prep.
Okay. Yeah.
Got dumplings and all kinds of stuff to make.
Yeah, and we got to clean up around the shop. We don't have. We had to sell the vacuum in order to keep the bills up, so we got to use one of those those old ones that we got at the movie theater with the little.
Are those just like kind of
Oh, the
big?
little bucket with the broom.
No. It was the remember the ones where it was like you'd push it and it just had like a
Oh
little
crap!
sticky roller
Yeah.
underneath it, and it was
Okay,
basically
so it was just like a big version of the ones you use for your shirt, right?
yeah, basically,
Oh.
but except it wasn't paper underneath. It was like an actual like sticky substance.
Oh, gross.
And so you'd have to wash it,
Oh, really?
and then they would re-stick again, which
Son of a bitch!
I'm really sure
yeah,
how
I
that
do
worked,
remember that.
but
yeah,
yeah, those things didn't work super well. But I'm sad to report that we did have to sell the vacuum cleaner, and it was loud. The dogs didn't like it.
No, that's true.
We had to get the quiet one, but and we should say dogs are welcome as long as they
Yes.
don't make a mess in the. They have to be on a leash. No messes. But yeah,
Our dogs make plenty of mess
yeah.
already.
Yeah.
so.
Well, all right. I guess then we will catch everybody on season 2, and as
Season
Denise and I always say, as our
What
our
do
catchphrase
what do
when we
we-
leave is
don't have one. I don't
Okay.
do that.
all right. Well, then on our side, I guess we will catch everybody on the next work shift. See you guys.
see you.
Bye.